so high. We going straight to the moon. Buy low, so high. Buy low, so high. Buy low, so high. We going straight to the moon. I made 1,000%. Fuck the reverse of the deal. I had to take me a risk. That's why I'm living like this. I made 1,000%. Fuck the reverse of the deal. I had to take me a risk. That's why I'm living like this.
Yo, what's good with it, Pack fam? It's your boy, Mr. Check My Resume, about to bring you my watch list for tomorrow, August the 19th. We're going to get into some stocks real quick, talk about some setups, and I'll let y'all have it. So with that, first off on my list, I want to get into that ticker, talk about the utility sector, and that's SO, Southern Company. I'm looking at the 4-hour setup here. We've got a reversal, potentially a Rev Strat 2-2 Rev, back to the upside above $79.82. We have all-time highs at $79.96. I'll be looking at this one to go and push that $80 level, and we'll see what happens once it gets above there. We plotted out the contracts to give us some pretty decent returns on that move back to $80. And just north of that, around 80-20, gives us really good, some really good returns, over 100% there. So that's what we'll be looking for on SO. First one on my list. Moving on. Next one here. We want to get into, let's get into technology. Only got one ticker in tech this week, and that is CREM. I was looking at chips as well, but I held off on the chips. They seem to be right near their BF, so I was kind of chilling. I want to hold on those, but a couple setups I'm looking at here on CREM. First off is the 4-hour setup, looking at a 212 to the upside above 188.42. And then when I move over to the day, I'm really seeing this potential double inside day break here above 188.57. So I am looking at CRM for that break there. So I had to go ahead and plot it. It's been kind of sideways, so we'll see if it breaks out tomorrow. Keep going here. Next one I have, let's get into communications. And let's talk about Snapchat. Snap, after the gap down a few weeks ago, we just kind of been at the lows and creeping up. So at this point, we had a Rev Strat today, 2-2 Rev back to the upside. So for tomorrow, I'm looking for a continuation on the day, and looking for an entry on the 4-hour above, what is this, $12.62. And I am looking for Snap to continue to move up if we are bullish tomorrow. So this will be dependent on what the market sentiment is. But it's really the only one, but there's a couple others, but really there's not much in communication. This is one that kind of was out there in comparison to the others. Maybe something going on with Snap. Moving on, let's get into materials here. On materials, I want to talk about AA, better known as the African Americans in the Alpha Pack group, or the African Americans, as we say it. You got to say it in your favorite Donald Trump voice. So what we're looking at here on AA, we're looking at a 212 to the upside above 54.01. And on AA, I'm looking at a couple targets here. First one's 54.78, then that high of 55.63 if we get some movement and bullishness on AA. And ultimately, if we're really strong tomorrow, we could push up to that 56.50 level, but that is pretty ambitious. So those earlier targets are more reasonable and more within line with what I'm thinking. Also, it'll be good if this week stayed inside. So wouldn't be mad if it stayed below 55.63 on AA. But do like that setup. There is room for it to move to the upside. Next one I want to talk about, we want to get into healthcare, and that is MRK, Merck. So on Merck, looking at a Chicago setup on the 4-hour for 312 above 91.57. And on the day, I'm also looking at a setup on Merck. We had an inside day today. We pushed down off the lows and it got bought up. So I'm looking at a 212 on the day above 91.84 on MRK. And this one did reversed on the week last week, and we've been pushing up strong ever since. So I like the way MRK is moving. I like the price action on it. Let's keep it going here. Now I want to get into banks. I'm very bullish on banks for tomorrow. First one I want to talk about is Wells Fargo. This is one we took, I think it was last week or a week before. We made some pretty decent returns on that Wells Fargo. First off, looking at an inside 4-hour break of 212 above 46.20. And then on the day, if you noticed here, we got a double inside day. Looking at a double inside day break to the upside above 46.20. So we've got the same level with two breaks at the 4-hour and the day. So we'll be looking to take advantage of that one on Wells Fargo. That'll be one I'll be paying close attention to. Also within the banks, I want to talk about BAC, and that's Bank of America. Similar setup, not as, I guess there isn't a double inside day break, I guess you could say, on BAC, but it is very strong as well. We're looking at a 212 on the 4-hour above 36.31. Very bullish setup there. Also, the day looks very strong. We did have a 2-down hammer day today, so we're looking at a 2-2 rev on the day above $36.40. So we're pushing close. We got triggers that are close in proximity of the underlying price on BAC as well. And we are in force on the week, and we're green on the higher macros as well, besides the year. So BAC, again, I like banks for tomorrow. Banks are looking very strong. I'll be paying close attention to those. Next one I want to talk about, get into the energy sector. First one I want to talk about is ExxonMobil Energy. It has been pushing up. Looks like Exxon is one of the laggards. So we were able to find the setup here on Exxon to get a 212 to the upside above 94.61. So I'll be looking to take an entry on that Exxon for sure tomorrow. Also in the energy sector, that was another laggard, and that was CVX. Outside of these two, the others had already broken out in force and did not present setups for tomorrow. So we're looking at also a Chicago setup here on CVX 312 to the upside above 159.28, and we're looking at a 2-up continuation on the day. So also with CVX, we've got a triple inside week one right now. So not sure how I feel about it breaking out tomorrow or just kind of staying inside and holding pat until next week. So CVX, XONE look very strong in the energy sector. We'll be paying attention to those as well. Moving on to consumer staples. First one I want to talk about here is Pepsi, which just broke all-time highs yesterday. And today, almost got to that same level, but kind of stayed inside. So we're looking at a couple setups here on the 4-hour. We had double inside 4 hours, which is a rare combination, but we're looking at that break above 180.68. And then if we move up to the day, we are looking at, we had a pull down today, so the daily candle looks red, but we pulled down right to a garden formation. So we'll see if price gets back above that tomorrow. So I went ahead and put the trigger out. So we're looking at a 212 to the upside. I'm not sure I could feel confident about a downside play on this one, but looking at a 212 to the upside above 180.93. And that'll be Pepsi. And again, we're at all-time highs, so no trigger, no trade. Don't force it on this one. Staying within the theme of staple, we're going to talk about MO Altria. This one has been performing well since we took entry on it. Dropped it on alert on MO. It was last week. So looking at MO, there's no 4-hour setup, but we are looking at the double inside days on the double inside day setup here. So we're looking at a double inside break above 45.65. We are sitting on top of a quarterly broad formation. So I'm really looking to see how this thing responds tomorrow when it breaks that level. And I'm pretty confident it will break the level. Now, lastly, we want to get into consumer discretionary really quick. First one I want to talk about is TJ Maxx, TJX, the ticker. First off here, you see the TTL rejection off the broadening formation. It's like we got buying that occurred right here, which created a very strong inside 4 hour today. So I'm looking at this 212 break to the upside above 61.11. I'm looking to take this trade back to the broad information around 69, 20, somewhere in that range all the way up. I'm not sure if I'll take it back to the 69.77, but I'll be looking somewhere up into that range. Also on the day, we got the Momo hammer looking at a 212 to the upside of 68.30. And again, we're looking to take this to the broad information. See how far I push it on. So that's TJ Maxx, TJX. Next one is Starbucks. Starbucks, this one off lows has been pushing up strong. We had a TTO yesterday, and now we're looking at this thing pushing up and continuing. We have a 2-2 rev potential on the day. Rev strat above 88.78 on the day. And so that'll be our entry on Starbucks. There's a couple of targets at $89 flat and then $89.93. So we'll take a look at Starbucks. This one has been performing well on Friday, so that'll be one we'll be keeping a close watch on. Next one I want to talk about here is Lowe's, LOW. So on Lowe's, we got a couple of setups potentially here that could break tomorrow. Let's see a potential strong move to the upside on Lowe's, but we're looking at Chicago 312 to the upside above 216.75, so 216.75 will be your trigger level. Looking at this one that we could push up to about the 221.70 level on that one. And then on the day, we're also looking at an inside 212 above 218.09. And again, same target area. We see this one as a potential trade to that 221 level. So I like the way Lowe's is setting up. If you look at the rest of the sector, this one is showing relative strength already, in addition to Starbucks. And last one I want to talk about here is Target Friday special. This is one FICO got in at the end of the day off the lows, looking at the reversal, pushing back up with that inside 4-hour setup, looking real strong to the upside. Looking at a 212 above 173.20. And we got the first broad formation here, but with the bullish day, it could push above this, but 175 is your first level, and then you can see where it can go from there. So we'll be judging that 175 as a quick win that could take care of the contract pretty good with that $2 move there. And then on the day, we're looking at an inside 212 to the upside above 175.14. And with this one, we need to push above the broader formation, potentially to this 178 level, to really see those contracts really that we'd like to see. And so with that concludes my list for tomorrow, August the 9th. You all, check your levels, get your alerts set, come ready and prepared to execute tomorrow. And it is Bring a Friend Friday. So please bring a friend to join with us. They can listen in, trade with us, whatever. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notifications bell. And I'll see y'all again on Sunday for my weekly watch list. Peace, Pac Fam.